The Church of God is a spiritual organism composed of people down through history who had the indwelling presence of the Holy Spirit of God. That's what makes a Christian a Christian. And that is whether they have the Spirit of God dwelling inside of them. This is what the church is, a spiritual organism. It really is. How do you know that you're a part of God's church? If you have the Holy Spirit of God. The church of God is the instrument by which all humanity that has ever existed will be rescued and saved. Yeah, God has a plan to rescue and save all of humanity. Now, it occurs through a couple of resurrections, the first and the second, and that's something you've probably never heard of at church. But God has a plan through the church, by the church, to save and rescue all of humanity that has ever lived and existed. The church consists of the first fruits whose spirit and character will be made perfect. Now that's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But by the indwelling presence of the Holy Spirit of God, your character is being perfected. It really is. You're growing closer to God, becoming more like Him. Okay? It's a church, the Church of God is a church that is obedient to God's will. You see, salvation is an act of obedience to the faith. Yeah, salvation is an act of obedience to the faith. It's not an act of disobedience. Although some of the stuff you hear being taught, you would think it's an act of disobedience. Nothing you got to do, just believe, just accept, you know. Law's been abolished, been fulfilled, been done away with. Yeah, that's what you hear. Now, what the church is not, I want to tell you what the church is not. It's not a building full of religious hobbyists. You know, people just, I don't know what they go to church for. I've never figured that out, why people go to church. I mean, it's like what are they there for? To meet people or to develop, you know, partners or a working relationship, business deals or what? I mean, why do people go to church? The church is not a building full of religious hobbyists. It's not a building full of unbelievers either, atheists. So I want to ask you a question. Are you a member of the Church of God? Are you a member of the Church of God? Or are you just another atheist that will not accept God's authority, pretending to be religious? Pretending to be religious. I want to tell you, there's a lot of pretenders out there. There's a lot of people who call themselves religious that will not accept God's authority in their life. Oh, they say they're Christian. They say they love Jesus. They say they love the Lord. They put bumper stickers on their cars. My boss is a Jewish carpenter or something like that. And yet they will not do a single thing that God tells them to do.